After the covenant promise in chapter 7, God begins fulfilling it visibly. David defeats his enemy on every side, expands Israel's borders, and establishes justice and order in the land. It's a chapter of military success, political strength, and divine blessing. The first part of this chapter covers David defeats the Philistines and Moabites. David defeats the Philistines and takes control of Methagammah. Then he defeats Moab. He measures the captured soldiers with a rope. He puts 2/3 to death and lets 1/3 live to serve him. Moab had finally ties to David via Ruth, but they may have betrayed Israel. David deals with them harshly, likely due to past hostility, right? The second part of the chapter covers David defeats Hadad of Zobah. David goes north and defeats Hadad, king of Zobah, and he tries to assert control near the Euphrates. David captures 1,700 horsemen, 20,000 foot soldiers. He hamstrings most of the horses, a common tactic to prevent future war use. The Arameans of Damascus come to help Hadadezer, but David defeats them too. David places garrisons in Aram, Syria, and collects tribute from them. David's now winning beyond Israel's borders. This is God enlarging the kingdom, right? So the third part of the chapter covers David dedicates the plunder to the Lord. King Toi of King Toi of Hamath sends gifts to David after David defeats their mutual enemy, Hadadezer. David dedicates all the silver, gold, and bronze to the Lord, not for himself. He dedicated his things to the Lord. David doesn't hoard wealth. He sees victory as God's gift and gives back to God, right? So let's jump to the fourth part of the chapter, which covers David rules with justice. David's reputation grows. He makes a name for himself, and after striking down 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt, okay, he places garrisons in Edom as well. And most importantly, David reigned over Israel, over all Israel, administering justice and righteousness for all his people, right? This is what godly leadership looks like, strength and fairness, right? So the fifth part of the chapter covers David's officials and administration. David surrounds himself with key leaders: Joab, commander of the army; Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat, recorder or historian, and Zadok and Ahimelech, priests; Sariah, secretary; Benaiah, head of the elite bodyguard; and David's sons, royal advisors. David isn't just a warrior; he's building a stable, structured kingdom. What are the key lessons from 2 Samuel chapter 8? Let's check that. I'm going to discuss with you in a few. So the first one is victory comes from the Lord. David wins everywhere, not because he's invincible, but because God is within. Second lesson, honor God with what he gives you. David dedicates the spoils to the Lord, a model for using success to glorify God. Third lesson, great leaders combine power with justice. David wasn't just a conqueror. He ruled with fairness and righteousness. Final lesson, structure matters in leadership. Good administration supports good kingship. David builds a system, not just a throne. So, summarizing, David expands Israel's territory by defeating enemies on every side. He collects wealth, dedicated to the Lord, okay, and establishes a just and organized kingdom. God's promise to make David's name great is clearly in motion, okay? So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment if you think there's another lesson that I didn't see here, and I see you in the next one.